Well, the first thing that jumps out is their skill. They have guys that can go up and make plays that other people can't. And good coverage is not always even an issue with them. I mean, you can be all over them, and the guy just, they've got multiple guys that can just go up and just, big boy the ball away from you. So it's a tremendous challenge to our pass defense, but at the same time, they still do a good job running the football. They've got a big back that likes to run through tackles. So, they're a different style of offense in terms of what we've seen. So it's a different challenge from what we've had over the first month of the season.
Their tempo, obviously, it's like averaging so many plays per game. What kind of strains that put on your rotations and defense?
Well, it puts, you have to have a lot of guys that are ready to play because otherwise you'll get worn down. It also puts a strain just on your mental keys. Mental fatigue sometimes is more damaging than physical fatigue because you get more, you just all of a sudden you're just not quite as locked in. Your eyes start to wander. You're just not where you're supposed to be. So their tempo, it's a physical problem, but sometimes it's more of a mental problem. So we will have to have a rotation of guys who are ready to go.
What kind of test does this offense present? Because it is one of the first pass-oriented offenses that you guys have faced this season.
Well, I think it's something we're excited to go against. I think it's a great challenge. I mean, certainly they know what they're doing, throwing the football. They've got again the guys that can go down the field and get it. So, but we're a little bit excited about the idea of going up against it. Our guys in the secondary and our pass defense and some of the things we try to do to shore that thing up. And there's no bigger stage to go test yourself on than Cal Field.
You talked about early in the season about being a good tackling team. Where is that at? How would you kind of assess the tackling over the first 4 games?
Like most things with the defense, inconsistent. We've got some guys that are better than others. From my vantage point, it seems like it gets better as the game goes on. I felt like in the first drive of the game last week, we let some get away, but then as time went on, we became a better tackling football team. Some of that's the people that are doing it. But I think it's something that's gotten better week in, week out, but we're nowhere near where we need to be.
I know against LSU and Auburn, you said you wanted the quarterback to beat you. Does it switch this time where maybe you want the running back to beat you, want them to run the ball rather than throw?
No, because when you play this offense, if they can run it, it's you're fighting the war on 2 fronts, and that's a war. It's hard to win. So, but again, that's still easier said than done. But you still have to try to take away what's easiest to do, and there's still nothing easier than handing the football off. So, as great of a challenge as they posed in the passing game, we still got to be solid versus the run.
Talk about the job that Richie's done for you over these first 4 games, especially winning the award this week.
Well, I mean, we've talked about him every week. I mean, Richie's playing very well. What I was proud of is a lot of times guys on defense, they will win an award just because of their stats. Richie had great stats, but he also played a great game. He made the plays that a middle linebacker should make. And then he made some also very difficult plays, making some tackles in space, big-time plays, big plays in the fourth quarter that helped secure our victory. So it was neat to see him in that environment when we were, you just had a sense we were kind of a play away from really taking the game over there in the fourth quarter, and for him to step up and make those plays is big for his confidence of taking that next step of being a big-time guy.
I think today ESPN ranked Will Redmond as a first-round draft pick in this year's NFL draft, I guess next year's. What makes him, from a coach's aspect, what makes him deserving of that honor?
Well, yeah, it's hard to. We should dig up who they ranked last year and where they ended up getting drafted. What I know about Will Redmond is that he's a very hard worker. He takes his game very seriously. He plays at a very, very high level in practice. He's a very physical player. He's obviously, of course, he's blessed physically with length and speed, which are a unique combination at corner. And then he's got that ability to make that play. That play made it, the first big play of the Auburn game was going to be important momentum-wise, and for him to step up and make that play. He'd kind of let one go a couple plays before, but for him to have that ability to step up and make that play, I thought really kind of got that first quarter momentum on our side, and you knew that whoever struck first would have a great advantage last weekend.
Brandon Bryant and Gary Green have been getting a lot more reps the past few games, especially last week. How much are you going to rely on them and players like them coming off the bench moving forward, especially this week?
Yeah, well, we need them. We need him, and Brandon's his role is getting bigger and bigger every week. Gary's learning more and more every week. I mean, certainly, obviously with Richie playing the way Richie's playing, we feel pretty good about our middle linebacker situation with those 2 guys. But Brandon is really making an impact at safety, and his tackling has been fantastic, and his ability to his athleticism and speed is really showing back there. And so as his confidence in his assignments continues to grow. His role continues to grow as well.
Everyone will probably focus on the secondary for this game, but how does the responsibility of the front seven change in a pass-oriented offense?
Well, one of the things I've been talking about since I've been here is that the pass defense is all 11 guys, not just in the way of just pass rush, but the way we fit up the receivers and the way we have to cover the guys. Everybody's responsible. So we understand, just no different than our run defense. We've had some issues in our run game that have been in part of our secondary. So we all understand what we have to do to stop the plays that they like to run. But what they do a great job of, they understand that it's still a game of execution. They're an offense that prides itself on out executing you with the plays they run. So it's a challenge for everybody that we have stepping on the field to try to deny. They're gonna complete passes. It's just what's gonna happen. The issue is that where are they completing them and how much run after the catch do they have? You know what I mean? And are they getting chunk plays? If they're getting chunk plays, that's where all the momentum comes from.
We play a lot of two deep safeties, and I know that Arkansas played some one defense and two deep last week against them. Is that just really to limit the big play against them, like you mentioned, just kind of letting the ball come to you and play the ball out in front of you? I mean, is that just part of the scheme, the way you've got things designed here?
Partially, yeah. I mean, partially what you're trying to do is you're trying to force the offense to execute many plays down the field. At the same time, though, we're still trying to be as aggressive as we possibly can to deny the easy throws, to get them, to the point where they've got to try to find tighter windows to throw the ball into. So the surest way to get beat against a team like this is to give up big plays, for sure. That's what they pride themselves on. They've got many, many guys that can create big plays, either by running by you and catching the big ball or by catching a short one and then running for the catch. So it doesn't. If there was one magical coverage that took it away, everybody would play it. It's really what you feel comfortable in and what you can do to get, like I say, try and get two guys to the reception point. Wherever the ball's thrown, that you've got two immediate responders that can get there.